Hi there, my name is Marley and welcome to my channel. On this channel I make bookish videos and today I'm going to be doing a part 2 to a previous video I did where I sorted book characters into zodiac signs. So definitely make sure to go check out part 1 of this video. I will link it above and below. And in this next installment I included some older classic book characters along with some that are from more of my recent reads, so we have a pretty good mixture. If you guys aren't familiar with the zodiac signs, they are Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, and Pisces, and Aquarius. Okay, so that was a little quiz for me. But yeah, each of the zodiac signs has their own sort of characteristics, like personality characteristics. And so with each of the characters, I'm gonna say which sign they fit most based on their characteristics. So I've written all the names and put them in this little Twitter cup, and I'm just going to draw names out and I'll decide the order that I discuss the characters. All right, so hopefully you guys understand what I just said. So let's go for our first character. We have Citra from the Arc of a Scythe series by Neil Shusterman. Now, I read this series a couple years ago now, but Citra is like a very badass main character, I would say. She's also just a really good person, as in this world you have to be, or you're supposed to be, a really good person in order to become a scythe. Like, you have to be very selfless and stuff. But because of her more fiery energy, I think I'm gonna sort her into the first sign of the zodiac, which would be an Aries. So there we go. And feel free to let me know in the comments if you agree or disagree at all. Also, I wore my Libra shirt, but you can't even see it in this shot, so. All right, next character is Rowan from the Arc of a Scythe series. I guess I did not shuffle these up very well. So he's kind of like Citra's counterpart in the Scythe series. They both are going through sort of the same experience in the first book, and then they sort of drift off in the other books. They also have a bit of a love story, the two of them. But Rowan, I think, is similar to Citra. Again, they're both really good people, but Rowan is forced to be a little bit more brutal. You can almost say he goes through more of a harder time in the books, and he has to adapt a lot as well. I hope you can't hear those sirens. Okay, I'm sort of struggling for Rowan, but I think I would go with Gemini just due to his flexibility or adaptability, as Geminis are known to have kind of multiple personalities, multiple sides to them, and just be very flexible and have a lot of different interests. So I think Rowan would be a Gemini, perhaps. All right, let's get a different book series here. So now we have Annabeth Chase from Percy Jackson. Love her. Annabeth is a daughter of Athena. She's very wise. She's very strategic, always coming up with plans for her and Percy. If they're in trouble, she always can talk her way out of it, or smart her way out of it. And then also when it comes to the battles, she's really good about planning those as well. So I think, considering all of that, she would have to be a Virgo, as Virgos are known to be very logical and strategic, and they're also known to be kind of perfectionists, with Annabeth, which Annabeth gives me those vibes as well. She definitely has to be an earth sign no matter what, but I definitely feel like she would be a Virgo. Next, we have Daniel from The Sun Is Also a Star. So this is a book by Nicola Yoon, and it has to do with these two people who basically spend the one day together and fall in love, but it's sort of forbidden love. Daniel is a very artsy person. He loves poetry and wants to be a poet, but he has these pressures from his family to, I think, go into either medicine or law or something very upscale. But this one, okay, I think I would have to say he's a Pisces, just because he is so almost living in the clouds with his poetry, which Pisces are very much about fantasy, being in their own heads, that kind of thing. So I think because of that big element of his personality being so artsy, the water signs do tend to be more in touch with their artsy sides. I think he would have to be Pisces. Now we have Coriolanus Snow, aka President Snow. From the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes specifically is what I'm thinking of. Obviously, you guys know President Snow from the Hunger Games. He's ruthless. He's very ambitious. You know, he's been hurt in the past with like the wars and stuff like that you find out in the Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. And that kind of is what created this person who just like wants to get ahead and be better than everyone else, I guess. So I don't want to be rude to Capricorns, but like, he's got to be a Capricorn. Just the ambition, the drive that he has, the focus. I think he would obviously be a Capricorn because they are the ones that are most like that. They are definitely capable of like being emotionless in order to get what they want, you know? Now we have Teddy from Second First Impressions. So this is from a newer released book by Sally Thorne. Teddy's the love interest in this book, and he is very charming, outgoing, kind of like full of himself. He knows that he's good looking. He kind of takes advantage of that to get the girls. He's also a little bit lazy when it comes to like his career. That's sort of like one of his storylines in the books, that he's trying to be better at that and get more ambitious and actually accomplish things in his life. I just instantly know that he has to be a Leo. That kind of goes with his like arrogance and his confidence and just being a little full of himself. Again, no offense to Leo, but I think this is a clear Leo. I love the diversity. I love that whenever I do this, I don't really have many repeats with the signs. It's kind of interesting. So next up we have Katniss Everdeen from the Hunger Games. Katniss is again a very selfless character, as we know, giving her life for Prim. She really loves hard with those that she cares about, and she's more of like a serious character. Like, I don't think we could call Katniss like a very fun character. Interesting. But she does have a lot of like characteristics of earth signs with the hardworking, but then she also has aspects of fire signs with being very like passionate and brave. But then she also can be very emotional like the water signs. Oh my gosh, Katniss. But then she kind of could be like a Libra too, like wanting justice and equality for everyone. Oh my god. Is Katniss divergent? Okay, as you guys can see, I'm struggling with Katniss, but just kind of reviewing the aspects of the different zodiac signs right now, I think I'm gonna make her a Cancer. But let me know your opinions in the comments if you have any. But I was just looking more into Cancers because I don't really know many, so I'm not as familiar with the sign. But it says that they're very protective, which would clearly be Katniss. And I think she is very emotions driven, which Cancers are as well, as they are water signs, so they have a lot of emotions. And I think they can also be very like compassionate, with Katniss clearly is, with her experience with Rue and everything like that. So we're gonna go with Cancer for Katniss. All right, who's next? Oh, Peeta Mellark, also from the Hunger Games. Again, a very sweet boy. Obviously, we know that Peeta is the more like sensitive one of him and Katniss, or nicer one, I guess I would say. They both are pretty like compassionate people and good people. Peeta's a little bit more creative though as well, with his baking. I don't know, is baking creative? I don't know. His like decorating the cakes. Didn't he use like his skills in like camouflaging? And that's kind of artistic, I guess. He's a gentle soul, not very violent. I think it might start doubling up, and I think Peeta would also be a Pisces. Peeta the Pisces, just with his artistic stuff, his compassion, and just being very empathetic as well. And I think they're also more romantic, which Peeta I think would be the more romantic one as well in the Hunger Games. Now let's discuss Henry from Red, White, and Royal Blue. So Henry is the Prince of England in this book. He, I almost want to call, is an old soul. Of him and I think Alex is the other character, he is more of the uptight one, more responsibility driven. Actually, I'm instantly thinking of Taurus for Henry. Tauruses can be very stubborn, like strong and dependable, and I feel like that is Henry. Like, he wants to be strong for his country and depended upon by everyone who relies on him as the prince. But then a word that's always used with Taurus is also sensual, which I feel like Henry also has that. So yeah, I don't know, there's some characters where I'm just instantly hit with that vibe, and I feel like Henry has the Taurus vibe, so there we go. Who's gonna be next? Now we have Edward Cullen, the myth, the man, the legend from Twilight. I don't even know if I have to describe him. Like, everyone knows Edward. How would I describe him? Definitely also an old soul. He's mysterious, he's moody, he's protective, very smart, intelligent. Okay. Okay. Is he emotions driven? He might be. Okay, I think our little Eddie would be a Scorpio. Do you agree? Like, he can be very mysterious, as we know, a little bit more closed off. But at the end of the day, he is very emotional as a water sign, passionate, stubborn, and then we also know that he's very brave as well, especially when it comes to protecting his loved ones. He'll do whatever it takes, fight whoever he needs to. And I'm just looking at the co-star description of Scorpio, and it says don't know if they're joking or being serious, and I feel like that definitely fits Edward. So yeah, we have our first Scorpio. Fun. Now we have Ruthie from Second First Impressions. So she's the main character in that book where Teddy is her love interest. Ruthie is pretty opposite from Teddy. She is not as confident. She's had things happen in her past that have really broken down her confidence. Because of that, she gets taken advantage of. And she's also very hardworking. She's compassionate as well. A little bit more meek, I would say. But yeah, I think above all, she's really compassionate and understanding, as when everyone is judging Teddy, she's really understanding towards him and very warm to him at all times. So I think I'm gonna have her be a Cancer, as she is very sensitive. She takes on others' problems as her own, doesn't really focus on her own stuff. And then, as we talked about before with Katniss, she's also very protective as well. Ruthie and Katniss are our two Cancers. Now we have Miss Bella Swan, also from Twilight, Edward's counterpart, and I kind of instantly know what I'm going to put her as. I think she's the only character to actually know her birthday. It's early September, I believe, which would make her a Virgo. And I could kind of see that for Bella, but I think more than that, she would be, like me, a Libra. Just with her whole I'm Team Switzerland thing, she sees both sides. She's very diplomatic and she doesn't want to take a side, you know? And I think she also doesn't really like conflict. Even though she's forced to be in one, she's kind of forced into this love triangle. She hates to see those around her fighting. She really just wants everyone to get along, and that is 100% Libras. Like, Libras need the peace. That's why they are the scales, because they just want everything to be fair and even. So Miss Bella Swan is gonna be my Libra. Now let's move along. Next up we have Josh from The Hating Game. And I think I put him in here because I kind of have an unpopular opinion about him, which is that I don't love him that much. I find that he kind of has the Edward Cullen syndrome of being a really possessive and controlling and very jealous, which I don't really like that. Obviously, he is really hardworking and driven for his job as well, and he does kind of have that secret soft side when it comes to, what is her name? The main girl character in that book, his love interest, I forget. But I'm getting Earth vibes from him, so I think I'm gonna make him a Capricorn for that whole hardworking aspect and just being very like disciplined and very successful and all that. And I think they can come across as like cold sometimes as well initially, which I think Josh does, and that's why our girl, whatever her name is in the book, it kind of gets the wrong impression from him at first, that he's more like cold and rude. Now we have Light Yagami from Death Note. This is a manga series and also an anime. Light, okay, let's see. When he finds a Death Note, he sort of lets the power get to his head. So I would say he is pretty like power hungry and driven for success. Before the Death Note, he was also a very good student. Like, you can tell he always just needed to be successful and needed to have power. He's super smart and intelligent and controlling, I guess. He wants things to go his way. I also think that he could be a good leader, and he could be competitive when it comes to his relationship with Elle and just their like competitiveness of who's going to figure out whose identity and stuff like that. So I'm kind of leaning towards like a Scorpio or almost Aries energy, but I think I'm going to ultimately put him as an Aries. You know, because he's very dynamic. He has those leader qualities, the competitiveness that I said. And yeah, he can also get pretty angry like an Aries as well, get fired up. So he will be an Aries. Now we have Leo from Percy Jackson series, or the Heroes of Olympus series by Rick Riordan. Leo is very fun. We love Leo. I don't think anyone could hate Leo. He's very fun, full of energy. Also hardworking, of course, with his little mechanical skills that he has, but I feel like he's just like a good time. And instantly I'm thinking of a sign we haven't had yet, which is Sagittarius. This is a fire sign, which I think definitely fits. Leo has to be a fire sign. But yeah, what I think of with Sagittarius is very friendly, life of the party, optimistic, extroverted. Those are sort of terms that go with it, and I think that definitely fits Leo. All right, we just have a few left, and next is going to be Dante from Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Dante, I see as very warm, welcoming, charming, sort of in contrast to Aristotle being more like closed off and serious. Dante is just sort of more lighthearted and optimistic, I would also say. It has been a while since I read this book though, so I feel like I'm not remembering like super well, but I think I'm gonna say that Dante would be similar to a Gemini. Again, they're very like curious, and they're also expressive and kind. Yeah, I feel like Dante is very versatile and would be a Gemini potentially, but I'm kind of on the edge about this. I feel like he could fit some other signs as well, but we're just gonna go with Gemini for today. Oh, and then we have Aristotle. I keep getting all the couples back to back, I feel. But he's also from Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. Book 2 coming soon, can't wait. But as I said, Aristotle is like the more serious one, the more closed off one. And he's not as sure of who he is, not really as confident. So I think keeping that in mind, I think he might be a Scorpio, just with that whole closed off thing. But at the end of the day, they are very brave, they are very passionate. And I think he does have that stubbornness as well. I don't know, I'm just gonna say Scorpio. I'm kind of struggling with that one. Just our last few now. Felix Love from Felix Ever Actor. This is a contemporary book. Felix is part of a lot of minority groups. He's a black, trans, queer teen. He's going through a lot in this book, and he's desperately trying to find love. He's also pretty artistic. I think he's in like an art program, trying to get into an art program. He's definitely emotional and passionate as well. I kind of am leaning toward Aquarius, mostly because we haven't had any Aquariuses yet, but they are very original and unique would be the words I would think to describe them. And I think Felix definitely fits that. He is a very unique individual. They also do have that side of them where they really believe in social justice and making the world a better place and being more accepting. And I think just given Felix and who he is, he would also be passionate about those things as well. We clearly have our first Aquarius. How fun. Our second last one is Charlie from Heartstopper. So this is more of a recent read of mine. I'm sure you guys know the Heartstopper series by Alice Oseman. Charlie is very sweet. I would say he's a very like sweet and innocent individual. He does have a lot of insecurities, and I think keeps a lot bottled up inside as well. Now tell me why I'm getting more Cancer energy. Again, we're having a lot of Cancers in this round of this game. But yeah, I've described Cancers a few other times already in this video. Just being very sensitive and just taking on a lot. And I'm just reading a little bit more about Cancers, and it says they like to have more like smaller groups of people they feel comfortable around, and I feel like that represents Charlie and his little friend group in the Heartstopper series. So there we go. Last one, I think I remember who this is. It is Mr. Grey, Christian Grey from 50 Shades of Grey. Do we love Christian? Not really. Again, he's similar to Edward as he's based off of Edward. So it might just end up being the same, but he's again very controlling, possessive of Anna. He's a business owner. He owns this like huge business, which I don't even remember what it is anymore, but that just shows how, I guess, ambitious he is and hardworking. But deep down, he's emotional, but he definitely hides that from the world, puts up this sort of fake persona. And I'm just gonna say he's Capricorn. We said Edward was a Scorpio. Christian Grey could also be a Scorpio, honestly, but I just get more Capricorn vibes based on his ambitions, because he's a lot more ambitious than Edward. I think Edward's more like fine to be in the shadows. Christian Grey is like wants to be on top, and he is fine being the center of attention, I guess, in that way. Our final one, Christian Grey, is going to be a Capricorn. So those are all the characters that I chose to assign a zodiac sign today. Let me know if you're liking this series and if I should do more. I think I just will do more even if no one wants it, because because I just find it very fun combining my love of books with astrology. Unfortunately, I kind of wish this group was a little bit more diverse. We ended up having a lot of water and earth signs, which I'm not as familiar with as the air and fire signs personally. Yeah, a lot of Cancers, a lot of Capricorns I felt. But I feel like that kind of makes sense. Capricorns would be pretty good book characters since they are so driven and ambitious and all that. And then Cancers also would be because they're just really like nice. So that concludes this video. Please subscribe for more of these types of videos if you liked it. And I'll see you in my next one as always. Bye.